It's Tuesday, March 25th, 2008. This is Variant Edition. Welcome to Variant Edition, your source for comic book news and culture. I'm Mike. Variant Edition is the first weekly video podcast about comics and comic culture. We started way back in February 2006, and we're still dedicated to bringing you the best in everything that is related to comics. This is the last week to let us know where you're from. We have a huge reader mail segment planned for next week. We did want to do it this week, but when we started going through the comments and emails, we didn't want to leave any out. So we're going to get all the good ones on the show next week. So you've got until next Monday to drop us a line or an email. You can do it with comments, emails, whatever you want to do. Just, call us, whatever. No, don't call us. But now let's focus on the present. I'll be back later in the show with some first looks, but before that, it's Lewis with a rundown of what comics are out this week. So sit back and get ready for a quick dose of comic knowledge that will prepare you to step into your comic shop this week.
Hi, I'm Lewis, and here's a look at what comics you can expect to find in shops this week. After the rundown, I'll be back with our pick of the week. So that's a look at what's out this week. Our pick of the week, All-Star Superman number 10. We just can't get enough of this book. It's one of the best Superman books that DC has ever published. Grant Morrison brings the right amount of awe and oddity every issue, and Frank Quitely delivers on every page. It's too bad we don't see enough of this book more often, but based on the series so far, it's been more than worth the wait.
Hi, I'm Nick, and these are your headlines for Tuesday, March 25th, 2008. First up, let's start with some con news. And this time, it's not the latest announcement of who will be writing what, it's the news that the Mid-Ohio Comic-Con has been sold. Current owner RAP Promotions announced that GCX Holdings has bought the 28-year-old con. Okay, it's news, but what does it really mean in the grand scheme of things? Hopefully not much change, but the announcement also came with the news that this year's show will move from late November to October 4th and 5th, which falls on the same weekend as SPX and a week after Baltimore. It's a whole lot of cons in a short time. A favorite of the show, Archaia Studios Press has announced that they are putting a significant amount of their ongoing and backlist material online. If you can't find back issues at your comic shop, you can now download PDF versions of select titles via Drive-Thru Comics. Or if you still want the paper versions, check out the ASP online store at Indie Press Revolution. A few weeks ago, we reported on Mark Millar's upcoming War Heroes. We got a little more out of Image today. The first issue hit shops June 25th, and according to Miller, it is, quote, everything I've been leading up to with Civil War, Ultimates, The Authority, Kick-Ass, and Wanted. The series is set in an America much like our own, but struck by terrorism. Faced with a war it just can't seem to win, America's military force turns to the last weapon with any hope, superhumanity. Miller and artist Tony Harris are said to be considering this their Ultimates 3. Okay, it's Eddie with some comic-related news from the world of moving pictures.
Thanks, Nick. Let's start with the most exciting news that I've heard in the last 2 weeks. Kevin Conroy, the definitive voice of Batman in animation, will be returning to the role he made his own in this summer's DVD release, Gotham Knight. Like myself, a lot of fans miss his vocal talents on the New Frontier DVD, but it seems we won't be disappointed in July when we get to hear him as the Batman once again. So by now, I'm sure most of you have heard about the upcoming G.I. Joe live-action movie that is set to start production soon. There's been a few announcements of who's playing what, but this is the first we've seen of anything related to production yet. Ray Park will be playing Snake Eyes, and it looks like he will be pretty true to his comic and toy roots. And just to reassure you that this news is comic related, Larry Hama, who wrote the entire 155-issue run at Marvel, is a creative consultant on the film. I think we all just got a little bit more interested in this. I know Kevin has. So we knew about Wolverine and the X-Men, but last week USA Today reported that starting next year, the animated series will be airing on Nicktoons. Plus, they will be premiering a new Iron Man cartoon featuring a younger version of Tony Stark taking on the armor. I guess a hard-drinking Stark wouldn't go over very well on kids' TV today. And finally, a rumor and casting news, Chris Evans, aka Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four movies, doesn't think they will be doing any more Fantastic Four movies. He stated that since the last movie, he hasn't been contacted about reprising the role. Things could change at any time, but it looks like another sequel could be in doubt. And actor Michael Cera has been cast as Scott Pilgrim. The Edgar Wright-directed Scott Pilgrim's Little Life should start production in the fall. Back to you, Nick.
Thanks, Eddie. Scott Pilgrim. Hey, Kevin, you never ran my review of the first volume, did you? Whatever. Anyway, back to comics. Marvel announced another reprint this week. The 12 number 3 should be back on shelves the second week of April. All 3 issues have sold out so far. Some quick convention news. Squadron Supreme will be returning later this year, but with a new creative team. The series will take place post-Ultimate Power and be written by Howard Chaykin. Matt Fraction will join Ed Brubaker on Uncanny X-Men with issue 500, with art to be provided by Greg Land and Terry Dodson. Top Cow will do another pilot season this summer. Expect Genius, Alibi, The Core, and Urban Myths to join previously announced Lady Pendragon and Twilight Guardian in the competition. And DC announced that All-Star Batgirl is now on hold due to its creative team being tied up with other projects. But when a new team is found, they will reschedule. Finally, during Stephen King's appearance on NPR's Talk of the Nation to promote his new Dark Tower series at Marvel, he pre-announced his next big comics work. According to King, Marvel will be adapting his epic apocalyptic The Stand as a graphic novel. No word yet on who may be working on that at Marvel, but it's reasonable to assume that such a massive work might not be as short an adaptation as the Dark Tower series has been so far. Well, that's it for the news this week. I'll see you next week.
All right, so we're back. Lewis is back. We're doing first looks this week. People have loved these, so we're going to keep doing them.
Yeah, it's a new thing. I kind of like the way it rolls.
Not a lot of options this week, though.
Yeah,
why?
Not too many first looks.
Because Marvel's going to have a big Ultimate Wednesday. That's what I'm calling it, because all the Ultimate books are coming out on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's like, Super Gas Day, 5 cents off, so it's like Ultimate Book Day, no cents off.
Okay. What did you read this week?
This week I read Daredevil, which is kind of catching the aftermath of what happened in the previous story arc. If you read it, your mind is in complete shambles because Matt just got so hard.
He didn't see that one coming.
So hard, it's just like, it's never ending for this guy. And it was so good. So you basically see Matt trying to pick up the pieces of another shattered day in his life.
A shattered day that he caused because he walked through the glass.
The man's drinking, the man's picking bar fights. And it's just a great issue because it's just like, oh, this is like really what a fallen hero looks like, just at his wit's end. And it's just a great read. I can't wait to see what the next story arc holds because I just don't know where he can go from here.
His wit's end because he's blind. That one wasn't funny. I took a look at X-Men First Class. Just as many blind jokes as I could stick into a Daredevil. I hate Daredevil. Anyway, X-Men First Class. What happens when all of the X-Men come down with Montezuma's revenge, except for Cyclops? Well, Cyclops had to go fight a big dude by himself because everyone else is busy. Yeah, they're busy. He finds this guy, radioactive tunnel. He's kidnapping people, killing them, kind of killing them, not really. And he wants to be an X-Men after doing all this evil.
So he's trying to take like the
and he's like, no,
the fan approach to
the tunnel.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a fun story. It's just kind of like Cyclops out on his own, and Xavier's all like, I would pick you for this mission even if they were healthy. And I'm like, that's great, Cyclops.
All right. Next
Up
book
there with Daredevil on my list.
Oh, come on. All right, next book we got to big Skrully book. This
isn't a preview.
No, this is a real book.
This came out last week.
Last week, Captain Marvel issue 4 has some big instigator pointing the finger saying that someone's a Skrull, and that Skrull quite possibly is Captain Marvel, along with Miss Marvel and about 1,000 other Marvel characters. So we got just like a complete kind of mental questioning of himself. He doesn't know who he is right now. It's like, who do I believe, myself or some little green man with a weird chin and no beard? And it's just like, you don't know where to go right now because there's only, one issue left in this book, and it's just like, how are you going to tie this up with the secret invasion that's going to happen? And is he going to die now? Is he really Captain Marvel? It's just so good, and I just hope it goes off
there's
in a
only
really
really
good way.
one way to end this book, and that was putting him in the negative zone.
Yes.
It's the only way you could possibly end this particular issue of this story arc. And I think it was an interesting call. Carol Danvers hits Africa hard because, nega bracelets, nega bands.
Yeah.
Nega
What's a good
bands.
stalemate? Because it's like, wow, he's stuck there, and it's like, what's going to be the outcome of it?
Yeah, and in the end, he gets home.
Yes.
Whatever that means.
Whatever home is.
Wherever whenever home is.
Yes.
See what I did there? Yeah, that's
a
called
fast
good
one.
reporting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's interesting. You got the possibility that Captain Marvel may actually be a Skrull, but while he's here, he's going to help with what he can, and that means blowing up tanks.
Yeah.
After a bomb goes off. All right, that's it for Variant Edition Tuesday this week. But before we go, we've got an important announcement.
And that announcement is that the New York Comic Con is coming. Head on over to the Jacob Javits Center April 18th to the 20th and experience the largest pop culture event to take place on the East Coast. Take that, West Coast. An enormous show floor plays host to top entertainment industry leaders showcasing the latest and greatest in comics, graphic novels, anime, manga, video games, toys, movies, television, and more.
The New York Comic Con is gearing up to be a pretty impressive show. Con organizers have already announced that Grant Morrison, Mike Mignola, Alex Ross, and Brian Hitch will be some of the guests of honor at this year's show. Stan Lee will be receiving the first ever New York Comic Legend Award at a special ceremony, and we've been told that we can expect to see the special previews of the Hulk and Spirit Fingers movie.
Spirit Fingers, nice. If that's not enough for you, they've also announced some other guests, including Charlie Adler, Terry Brooks, Duncan Fegredo, Irvin Hasen, Tony Moore, Steve Niles, Sean Phillips, Eric Powell, Rick Remender, Leonard Starr, Dave Shelton, Chris Weston, and a lot more than I'd want to read right now. So,
I don't even have that many fingers. Check out NewYorkComicCon.com for a full list of all the guests that will be scheduled to appear. And if you don't know already, we're going to be set up at the show in the podcast Thunderdome. So we want to thank the New York Comic Con for sponsoring Variant Edition.
yeah, so if you're going to be at the con, stop by our table in the podcast arena.
Thunderdome.
Okay, stop by our table in the podcast Thunderdome. Or if you see us on the show floor, just stop by. Say hello.
For all details on the latest con news, check out nycomiccon.com for more details.
Speaking of the con, we've got our first look back to last year's con coming this weekend.
Kevin won't tell us what he's putting together for that yet, but with all the coverage we got from last year, there's a lot of cool stuff he could choose from.
Yeah, so check out that this weekend. But before then, check out our Variant Edition discussion. This week, we take a look at the New Frontier DVD that came out a few weeks ago.
And just where can you find all this Variant Edition goodness? I wonder. You can always check out, variantedition.com.
Yes, good answer. That's right. We've got links to all the places online where you can watch us. You got iTunes, YouTube, VO, a really cool high-res feed from Blip TV, or the broadcast quality. That's broadcast quality video from Views.
That's 5 ways to watch us.
5 ways.
Any more excuses. But it's time to wrap it up. And before we go, we'd like to thank Classic Comics, our host for this and just about every episode.
Yep, Classic Comics in Rahway, New Jersey is your friendly neighborhood comic shop.
Check out ClassicComics.com for more information about the shop, including how you can save up to 20% on your comics every week.
Yep, so that's everything. We'll see you later in the week. Well, one read-through, one take. All right, go get healthy.
Yeah.